Kanye had a fashion show a couple of days ago. Turned out a new line. It was innovative. It was all about not having hardware on the clothes, as they say. Hardware, you say? Things like zippers and buttons and whatnot. They're going to do all pullover things. So, new sweats. What do you fucking do? Anyway, so yeah, that was a big innovative contribution to the fashion game that evening. Oh wait, no, there was more. He had T-shirts also. On the front of the T-shirt, there was a picture, I think, of the current Pope, maybe perhaps doing something. I'm not exactly sure what that depiction was of the Pope, but that was on the front. And then on the back of those T-shirts, there was a phrase that read, "White lives matter." Dum dum dum. And the internet saw that shit, and Jaden Smith saw that shit and was like, I am appalled and offended, and I'm walking out.
Of what, nigga?
He walked out the fashion show. He got up and left because he said, "I don't give a fuck who you is. When I don't rock with the vibe, I'm out." He tweeted that. He tweeted that after he left the show that Kanye West put on. Yay, as he's formally known, he's as officially known as. So yeah, huh?
These 13% is gonna learn their place eventually.
Ooh, maybe not. Maybe I don't know. Eventually. So yeah. So Jaden was in an uproar. And countless other celebrities were all in a tizzy for the messaging on the shirts of the White Lives Matter. Um,
I think it was more Candace Owens because he meant it.
hey, well, Candace Owens was in the picture that was published. I don't think he put the picture out. I think someone took a picture of him and
No,
Candace Owens.
having her there in the White Lives Matter shirt, let motherfuckers know that was purposeful to let motherfuckers know this is not a fucking joke.
Oh, I think it was a statement.
A statement, exactly.
Yeah, I think it was a statement. What the statement was, I don't know. Cause Kanye West is a weird motherfucker that do a lot of provocative shit,
That was a statement.
and
I need to be
and
provocative, and I'm running out of shit.
and he don't often explain that shit, and so we be left in the fucking dark as to what the fuck he means by it. But let it not be for motherfuckers to be in the dark about some shit they can just figure out and know the exact intent and meaning of, and decide what the fuck a motherfucker was thinking, what they is and what they ain't gonna be, and how you just don't fuck with them, but also how you ain't been fucking with them for a very long time, although you was either at the show, checking for the show, watching the show, and following this motherfucker on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, apparently. But hey, you don't fuck with him. You just notice all the shit that he does. And then you write about it. Tweets or not. First thing first, I got some other thoughts on it too. But if you don't like something, why are you giving it all of your attention?
It's called gaslighting.
No, 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 no. I'm speaking to the people that are responding to the shirts. I don't think they're gaslighting. You say they're gaslit?
Oh yeah, they're gaslit.
Okay, all right, cool. Um, I came up, and this is again just from me having the proper shit secreted into my system
Pause.
when I was a child. Pause. And jumping off porches and getting lost and almost getting hit by cars and getting hit by cars and shit like that. It makes you a nice, full-blooded, red-blooded American, well-developed individual, and makes you a nice, well-rounded adult. I had that.
I
So,
ain't got hit by a car too late.
nah, I'm saying that these other motherfuckers didn't never get hit by cars, and they never understood that when motherfuckers just say some shit that you ain't always got to respond. They never been sat down and told, I'm gonna fuck what that motherfucker's doing in that classroom. You sit your ass in that desk and you face forward and you don't respond to nothing that motherfucker is saying. If he ain't touching you or doing nothing to you, you don't bother with him. You let him be a fool over there by himself.
If he don't put his hands on you, you leave that fool alone.
You leave that fool alone.
Touch you. You tell a teacher, touch you again, knock his head between the washer and dryer.
If there ain't no washer and dryer, a locker will do.
Oh no, knock his head between the washer and dryer. It's washer and dryer somewhere. Just keep knocking his head till you find one.
So you found one? You found one? Check the boiler room. There might be one down there.
They washing them towels somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah, but if you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't give it credence. But you can't not do that because your disdain for it is what feeds you in your existence. You wouldn't exist without having the shit that you don't like to critique. So your existence is built on critiquing the shit that you don't like. The shit you don't like only gets the light of day because you critique it. And then you say that it's only a problem because it's so proliferated into the culture. It's such an issue is because it's so pervasive and it's so influential. But he only has the influence because you're watching them and then telling everybody else the fuck he doing. And so now they all watching him too. If that's your goal, then you're doing a shitty job. But that's one. Two, he took a picture with Candace Owens with the shirts, White Lives Matter. She got a white one with black writing. He got a black one with white writing. If I was, first things first about this picture, if I was Candace Owens' husband, I'm asking questions when she gets to the crib about this picture.
Yeah, she do look a little too happy.
Little happy. Like, what happened? So, where did he give you the shirt at? Because you didn't go there with it on. Oh, he gave it to me in this trailer. Oh. So when you did you go like in the bathroom to put it on, or did you like just put it on right there? Because I can notice that it's not over your other shirt that you wore because it had a collar. So when you put it on, did you go to the other room? Just right there in front of him, huh? Oh, that's how they do it in the fashion world. You got a fucking model, Candace. I don't know. Hey, look, I don't know, Mr. Owens. I'm just saying, if I was you, I'd be concerned about that shit. Cause she looking at him like she would either let him hit or has already let him hit. Either way, you should be concerned. This motherfuckers just don't go around just taking pictures like that. And Kanye single, and you know he out here. He fucking for sport now. You know that, right?
Never leave your bitch in the room with a billionaire.
That's fucking for sport? No, absolutely not.
Nigga, don't leave your room in a bitch with a billionaire that's fucking for revenge. Never leave your bitch in a room with a billionaire that's fucking with an angle.
Man. Hey, look. It is what it is. So anyway, they take the picture with those shirts on. They're wearing those shirts. Those shirts are in the show. There's a front to that shirt that seems to be a statement, and there's a back to that shirt that seems to be a statement.
A parallel statement.
My question is this: I don't know what the fuck the statement is. I have guesses as to what it is, but I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he means. He just said but I know I know him to be a motherfucker who does things just because they're provocative and they get you talking. I also know that he tries to fancy himself as an artist. I also know from my little cursory knowledge of art is that it is supposed to provoke conversation and thought. So its intention is supposed to get you talking and get you conversating about something. Whatever it is, I don't know. And that whatever it is oftentimes up to you. And so he says, my latest response when people ask me why I made a tee that says White Lives Matter. They do. Okay? They do. All right. And that will lead me to some of my artistic interpretations of what he meant from putting the messaging on the shirt. But the purpose of art is for you to give an interpretation of it. And from my understanding that there's supposed to be no wrong interpretations. It's supposed to be what you get from it. That's what makes the shit so artsy, so unfathomably ridiculously expensive. Excuse me. To pay $50,000 for a picture of a fucking blue circle. It has an accompanying piece of a red circle. I'm looking at you, girlfriends. But yeah, shit like that. So maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know. But if it was what he was doing, that's what we're supposed to do. I have some theories behind it. And I'll tell you why I actually am not upset at it at the end. Okay. So theory one. He's saying that white lives matter. They do. I think it's an unnecessary statement. But is that the purpose of the message? The absurdity of printing White Lives Matter. Just the juxtaposition of it on black people to wear it. Why would you wear that? You don't need to wear that. There is absolutely no purpose for you to wear that White Lives Matter shirt because white lives aren't specifically in jeopardy. Right? Right? So he gets that conversation going. Like, no, they're not in jeopardy, but there are other lives that are in jeopardy, and I'll tell you them. Now, let's have the conversation. Could that be a possibility? Could that be an interpretation of the messaging of the shirt? I mean, I'm just asking.
I'm a pessimist. So it
Maybe a pessimist. I'm just saying, is it possible?
All things through Christ are possible, sir.
Anything okay, it's possible. All right.
I doubt it. I highly and severely doubt it. And I think it's more of a bravado thing because his clientele is white. So to get them to wear something as provocative, like the average citizen, just think of who Kanye West fucking customer base, his consumer base is. The average white American that may not even have any real political affiliation, walking around with a shirt that will undoubtedly ruffle some fucking fellas. Like, just imagine a fucking 16-year-old white kid that don't really give a fuck one way or the other about the political climate. Mm-hmm. Just got it on because it's Yeezy. And he's white.
Right.
And his shirt says White Lives Matter.
Right.
Motherfucker walking up behind him not gonna give a fuck what his particular perspective is. They're gonna judge it from their perspective. And that is what I think Kanye West doing. He just out here to see if he's King Ye, if he can take that out of the conversation. Can he make niggas look at the back of that shirt and go, oh, that's just Yeezys. Oh yeah, that's just
good.
Just completely take the angst away from us. Just have, because that is monumental. If he can, because motherfuckers gonna look at that shit and want to beat every one of them up.
Mm-hmm.
Can he take that out of the heart of Black America? That's what his goal is.
I mean, it could be. That's a theory. Again,
I don't think it's altruism. No, I don't think it's altruism. No, I think it's from a place of arrogance. Like, it's not altruism. I think
again,
right. I think it's from a place of arrogance.
Who the fuck knows if he's from a place of arrogance or altruism? I can't assign that to him. I don't know. I don't know. I have another interpretation. What if the interpretation is that I'm gonna get that I'm gonna get to that too because that's what we'll wrap it up with at the end. Um, so what if it's to say that white lives matter, and I'm gonna put these white lives matter shirts on a bunch of black people because man, white lives matter to black people, and until we admit that, shit might never change. Um, there's a there's a there's a saying that's out there that exists that it goes something to the effect of the motherfucker think the white man ice is colder and their water is wetter. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of black people subscribe to that sentiment. It's a lot of us that'll sit there and talk down on the black business and talk.
I think he's frozen.
Oh, that's him froze. I thought that was my ass. All right. So what he's talking about is the Sambo complex. There are some of us that was raised in an environment where it may not necessarily be that their ice is cold or the water is wet, but the value that they receive merely by being the complexion they are can be a bit appealing to someone who's being treated less than simply by their complexion. It's just envy. And so envy can breed disdain or envy can breed jealousy. And jealousy can cause one to want to emulate to receive the benefit associated with that outward appearance. That might explain weaves and wigs and conks back in the 30s and all type of shit. So yes, there is a faction of motherfuckers that believe that their ice is colder and the water is wet. But again, I don't believe that that's what Kanye West was on with this particular venture. I think the nigga, like I said, is just egomaniacal. And anything, any mark he can make, any visible mark he can make that he can point to, like where the layman can point, because we all see the inherent danger in that being mass produced and put out to the public. We see it's intrinsically provocative, it's insightful, it's inciting, it's going to move people to action. But to what action? And that's what my mind, he believes that his name is more powerful than the disdain for that sentiment. And he's trying to prove that with your skin, my skin, with the with the overall health collective's health. Thank God we aren't the faction that rock that shit. Or I haven't seen anybody I know of my ilk rocking that shit. I mainly see teenage Caucasian kids in masses in droves buying that shit. The only thing niggas go to the Gap for is them fucking dollar flip flops. That's it. We ain't going to Gap for shit else. Now we got them Yeezys because they became a bit of a collector's item. But as far as most of his clothing, I don't know many motherfuckers that rock his clothing that young and African American. Now, this could just be another ploy for of the many ploys of Kanye West, the White Lives Matter. But again, like I said, I think this is from a place of arrogance where he think he can overtake a fucking uh he's a contrarian at the root. So anything he can do the opposite of what motherfuckers is doing. He got a line. I spent $400 on this just to be like, nigga, you ain't up on this. He likes to set himself aside from everybody.
He
And
does.
I think this is just another manner of him being a contrarian. And his egomaniacal brain thinks that he could get the world. He think he can usurp the disdain for White Lives Matter. He
Mm-hmm.
might not be wrong. Because motherfuckers might whoop two or three asses, but then be like, oh, that's that Yeezy shirt. And he needs us talking about it for it to fucking work. Because if we wasn't talking about it, we wouldn't know that was a Yeezy shirt. And it would really just be a White Lives Matter shirt. and asses would be whooped.
Mm. I was in the middle of the second one. How much of that? I don't know how much of that second one y'all got. I really don't. For the powers that be, decided
We
to make my
got
internet,
that the
just my
black
internet in the
folks.
basement cut off.
Yeah, because the producer clicked in. I done cut my internet off because it's usually me. We had dead air for like 30 seconds. She had to let me know it was your ass that it froze. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, it was definitely me. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you can reiterate it.
Okay. So yeah, now we get the sentiments that the white man, water's wetter, ice is cold, all that shit. They is better, right? We have people that look down on black businesses for doing one thing that they would never attribute to white businesses, so to speak. They'll attribute it to that business, but they ain't gonna say that's how white people do business. They'll just say that's how they did business. But if it's a black owned business, they'll say that's how black people do business. Because one can say because white lives matter and black ones don't. Or black businesses don't really matter and white ones do. And you can say that black people are some of the biggest proponents of that particular brand of thinking. Am I wrong?
I mean, if you was to relay it in conjunction with his Black Lives Matter is a scam, you might be putting together something.
No. It's rounding out to that, right?
That's
But
what I
that could
just
be
said.
another.
If you put
What?
it in
What?
conjunction with his theory with his whole stance that Black Lives
Mhm.
Matter is a scam.
That could be that. Also, this. Um, he comes from the music industry, right? I got a lot of think pieces on this shit. I know everybody said they want to hear nobody trying to explain Kanye's genius behind this cold shit, but that's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna be. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not saying it's genius, but I'm saying what it could be. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Anyway, um, could he be could he be making a commentary on the fact that in music especially, you can say 100 miles an hour all day, all up and down your album. You can talk about killing niggas. You can talk about killing police on your album and see what happens. Talk about killing white people on your album and see what happens. Talk about killing Asian people on your album and see what happens. Talk about killing gay people on your album and see what happens. So, man, Joe, certain lives matter, certain lives don't. It could be a It could be a commentary. It could be a commentary on that particular thought. I don't know. Again, that's my theory. Okay, my last thing. I'll be short. Um, it's more of a question. Is Kanye now on White Lives Matter? I would want to own it before I put it on a shirt in my fashion collection
Probably.
that I
He
that
probably
I that I will plan to sell. I would think, right?
he probably now owns that phrase that everybody was too fearful. Like the one that we too fearful to say. The cis hetero.
Hey, hey,
If
some
somebody was to own that should be so vile. It would have to make the evening news.
have to, but does he now own that?
Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah.
And oh, what a thing it would be if we chose not to get mad and react with glee. Hey, that rhyme.
You're a poet and you didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it. But can we just, hey, look, can we just snatch potential victories? Like, is that not a thing that one could tout and hang over the supposed superior class of individual race of people? You motherfuckers didn't think to capitalize on that shit. Y'all didn't lock this down. So now we own it, or he owns it. And he can use it any kind of way he wants to. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do with it.
I mean, it's
I
more
don't know.
one of those kind of things where
I don't know. She
it's
said
one.
it was trademarked in 2016 by Nick Cardelli. I don't know. Does Nick Cardelli still own it? I don't know. Hey, look, it would be dope if he did own it. If he doesn't own it, then that's just a crazy theory. And I don't know. Is he selling these shirts then if he doesn't own that shit? Because I can't imagine him selling these shirts if he doesn't own it.
If Nick Cardelli owns it, Nick Cardelli about to hit the lottery.
Lottery. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I would. I know Kanye got a reputation for paying whatever for the sample. Can you sample trademarks and clothing?
Motherfucking chips smell like kitten spit, but they fine.
I don't know what Kitten Smith it spelled like. Also, it's hard to say, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if he doesn't own it, then hey, look, there's one thing. But does it provide the conduit to think along those lines? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Now my last point. Well, my last point was before that the trademark thing came up to me. Motherfuckers need Kanye, and I say motherfuckers, I mean black people. Black people need a leader.
Say he ain't the one we want, but you the one we need.
And not necessarily a leader, not necessarily a leader. We need something. We need a conduit to direct our energy to or through. It could be a motherfucker that we all just collectively hate.
Take just out of it and go example.
Example. We need something. We need a focal point. We need we need. We need Milnure. What's Thor's hammer? What's Thor's hammer name? Milnure. We need Milnure. Black people have all the power of Thor, but we need a Milnure. We need. It don't necessarily have to be the leader of us because didn't the father say that he controls the hammer? But it's got to be something we focus our power to. When Donald Trump was president, I saw an awakening in black people that hadn't been there since the fucking different world was on.
You know what I'm saying? So when Dwayne walked in on Willie Wedding?
No, not that. But motherfuckers started. Not that fire. But motherfuckers started paying attention to shit. Motherfuckers started paying attention to things that affected their lives. We started paying attention to politics. We got engaged. We got active. We got involved. And I think we did that in no small part due to Donald Trump. And not because I should do it, did he? Everything do with Donald Trump. Because it gave us a motherfucker to focus our vitriol and our hate and it coordinated our actions and we moved with a purpose. And we need some shit to make us move with a purpose. Otherwise, we just be out this motherfucker all wild. Until there's a thing to do.
Last time niggas focused goddamn was because Bush Jr. got that brother in there.
The last time we focused, we got Barack in there, and then we kind of like autopiloted the second time. But you know, it was what it was. That was an easy thing. That wasn't even anything that we had. We didn't know why we was voting for Obama. We don't even know if we really we knew why.
Hell yeah, nigga! Our current incumbent had a shoe through at his head. Matter of fact, 2 of them. We like, oh hell no. We let a fucking cokehead C student run the goddamn country. Yeah.
Well, put it like this. We didn't care what his policies were as long as he wasn't Clarence Thomas. He was gonna be okay. He was gonna be we were waiting on Colin Powell. You know that, right? We were waiting on Colin Powell.
We was really waiting on Jesse Jackson to get his shit together.
Oh well, no, we was past waiting on Jesse. We weren't on Jesse no more. I mean, I'm talking about at this particular time, Colin's name was popping up, and we was like, shit, yeah, I'll fuck with Colin. I mean, he a Republican, he one of them, and he was with Bush, and he was the motherfucking Secretary of State. But yeah, I mean, I'll fuck with him though. I'll rock with him. Yeah, he cool. Cause he was from the set, and we was keeping him, and that's what happened with Obama. It was a no brainer. But then when Trump got in, we had to use the noggin, and we started using that motherfucker, and we started thinking and doing shit and mobilizing, and we saw some footholds take place and some galvanizing forces start, and then we got complacent again when he got out of office. We got that victory and we got sauce and shit. Hey, over with. I ain't saying Kanye is gonna be is the leader, because you motherfuckers don't like him. I don't have no problem. You motherfuckers don't like him. He's not the leader, but he's the fucking focal point we need. And maybe instead of all just being upset in our angst and all 40-year-old jocks, we should be some more deliberate thinkers and more pragmatic in our approach and strategic with our process and get some shit accomplished. And I think that is what Kanye's overarching message is, to be more strategic in your shit. If you look at it, if you look at the moves that he's making outside of the circus that he provides around the actual shit that he does, but he dissolved the partnership with a major corporation because he didn't like how they were treating him, his process, or what they were trying to do with his thought for clothing equality in price, affordability of good shit. Who needs to afford good shit more than us? Just saying. Maybe we should start having dialogues as opposed to just throwing darts at motherfuckers. We might pick up a couple things that will be helpful.
Yeah, Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo. And everybody else too. I've seen more motherfuckers on the internet these past couple days just talking about Kanye, talking about Kanye's a coon, talking about how Kanye's the worst thing that happened to black people, how Kanye's a distraction and all this other shit. You don't need Kanye to be distracted. Kanye wasn't saying shit to you motherfuckers, and I didn't see y'all make no concentrated efforts to get Jackson, Mississippi no fucking clean water to drink. Flint still fucked up, by the way, but whatever. Jackson is fucked up. Y'all was all talking about Jackson, Mississippi water supply a few weeks ago. And then now, not a mumbling motherfucking word. You gotta be for the shit past the point of its relevancy. Just because the shit ain't relevant no more, don't mean that shit's been resolved. Hasn't been. You gotta push that shit like you were pushing it when it was popular. But now the camera's gone, the shit died down, and ain't nobody else famous tweeting about it, so I ain't gonna tweet about it. Ain't nobody else in my social circle doing that shit, so I ain't gonna say nothing about it no more. I'm not gonna start no initiatives or anything like that to make no way for it. But Kanye's a cool because he's saying that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Well, hell, there's been a lot of motherfucking black pundits. I'm looking at you, Roland Martin, that we've been talking about Black Lives Matter and there being some unscrupulous business practices being done. You brought one of the founders on there to talk about it, and she was like, "Well, I ain't been around there in about 5 years now. You know, I ain't been around for a minute. You know, that really was around when I was really around in Ferguson, and then I ain't be doing that shit no more." Something is happening that motherfuckers is abandoning ship and not saying, hey, act like they ain't been there for a long time. Nah, I don't really got nothing to do with it. Something has to be happening for motherfuckers to be doing that shit. So for him to go out there and say that shit's a scam and we been knew it. But motherfuckers be acting too afraid to admit the shit in public, I guess. You can say that shit on your show as long as your show don't get enough views. already told you who I'm looking at. And it's okay. But he's saying, and a few million people see it. Oh, now you saying private business out in public. You telling the folks what's going. We gotta be the first ones to kill some shit if it ain't for us. Why we keeping some shit around if it ain't for us? If it ain't helping? And I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know if they're stealing shit or not. But I know some shit needs to be explained. I know a lot of motherfuckers that supposed to do the explaining got a lot of talk, got a lot to not know about it. Got a lot of I wasn't around during that time to say about shit. But hey,
that shit be crazy how motherfuckers will get you on board with some shit, and then when the motherfucking shit get to singing, hey, I got you on board. I didn't say take the trip, nigga. I just said it was a boat. It was going westward, and if you was going westward, get on that boat. I didn't say stay on that motherfucker.
Motherfuckers will get on, act like they're going on a cruise, and was just on there for the pre bon voyage party.
We're just there to break that champagne bottle, baby.
That's it.
Oh, you ain't to the next.
You ain't leave when I left. Oh, I thought you had left when I left. No, man, I'm out. I'm in the middle of the motherfucking Atlantic right now.
Oh shit! Irish, hey, they motherfucking Irish goodbye political parties and shit. Nigga, no, you can't. This is an ethic, nigga. We was here for it, trying to accomplish some shit. You can't just take the fucking picture and dip, nigga. You was at the ribbon cutting and left.
Like, no, I did my part.
At the ribbon cut and grabbed them some potato salad and got the fuck on up out of here. Roland Martin, ain't that a bitch?
Like, but I get it. Your sole purpose is just to bring attention to, not a change of, just attention to. Doesn't matter what the attention does or how long the attention stays on. Fuck it. I'm just here to bring some attention to it, and I did my part, and that's all. I'll never have to mention this shit again. But I'll mention Kanye, whom I claim to have forgotten about and don't think about anymore. I'll tweet about that motherfucker for 4 days. Straight.
But here's what motherfuckers like Roland Martin need to understand. There's room for town criers too. We need motherfuckers who just talking. But stop acting like you're fucking altruistic in your intent. Stop acting like you got the betterment of the movement at the heart of why you're bringing it up. You just hoping some shit. You hitting striking iron. You hope something catch fire.
At a point through those actions, I wonder if they know that you come off looking like a grifter. You come off looking like a charlatan.
You know what snake oil salesmen do, man? Change towns.
But in the year 2022, it is very difficult to change towns. I'm seeing motherfuckers. I'm listening to. I was listening to Tesla Figaro podcast the other day, She was talking about fucking political leaders not being what the fuck they need to be, not doing what they need to do. What kind of leader are you if you're not making no calls to action? It's what she say. She said it's too much BS in the game. The lack of discipline, pimping, posturing, excuses, and lack of focus in leadership is sickening. Time to stop begging and start bossing. Is what she said on the podcast. But that's the sentiment that she's coming with. You got to direct that shit to these motherfuckers and call their names out.
That's why they Black Forest zombies.
Like you got to call them out. You're the Bishop Talberts that be out here on everything on the internet that come across the internet. They got a response for. This motherfucker be on the shade room more than fucking 15-year-old girls. I swear you do.
More than future comments.
More than future comments. He on the shade room more than drill rappers, baby mamas. Like he's in there a lot, and not like that. He writing about him. That he's pulling articles from there and commenting on them and building conversation around these things. Like,
so that nigga in the mentions more than.
All of them.
Oh, I got
All
only
of
one swing.
all of all one swing. All
One
the
swing.
bullshit.
Now I gotta
All the
wait the
bull.
10 seconds.
Gotta wait 10 seconds.
Now I
Count it
can
out,
move.
Mississippi.
Now I can
but
move.
but all the
Damn, I
bullshit
forgot the
posts.
reason I was getting up.
Mhm. But all the bullshit posts you like them. You got a comment. You got a response. You saying this. You saying that. Say some call to action to these people that congregate to your place of worship. Say make some calls to action to your thousands of followers and subscribers and whatnot. Do more than just post about, well, you hear this police beat this person over here today. And then the next day, you just talking about some police beating somebody else. What about the motherfucker that got beat over there? Are you gonna do anything about that? Are we planning on doing something a little bit more than marching? Are we changing government officials in that area? Are we talking about getting the police chief out of his office or some shit like that? Are you putting pressure on the mayor? Are you making any of these calls to action to do any of these fucking measurable things? Or are you just pimping black pain and plight? Are you doing little more than the same thing all these slave movies been doing for the last forever, man? We've been getting these shits that we don't be getting tired of them. We sitting here talking about we getting tired of watching slave movies. We getting tired of watching black struggle. We get tired of watching black plight. Well, I want to see that shit over and over and over again thrown in my face as entertainment. Why did you want to get that shit thrown in your face and it's supposed to be inspiring? Supposed to be motivating. It's supposed to move you to do what? If all you do is show me trauma, what the fuck do you expect me to be other than traumatized? You're not building soldiers. You're not creating warriors for your movement to do something. If that's what your mind state is, that's not what you're doing. I don't know. I know you motherfuckers want to say Kanye's a cool, but we sit here and have a whole night ode to a fucking to music that is talking about murdering us every other fucking song. But that's just cool. That's just all right. Yeah, fuck it up. I don't know. Do your thing, but Kanye's a cool. That shit's not cool to know. You making the song talking about murdering motherfuckers that look just like you. That's not cool shit. But Kanye putting White Lives Matter on the t-shirt, oh, he the biggest fucking coon ever. And don't say that it's the influence that matters and it's the imagery that matters, because those things are also influential. Those things also create imagery. That's what they do. That's what that music do. If his clothes and tweet is gonna be so fucking impactful to the point where we have fucking what's the old girl, the editor of Vogue or whatever fuck she I don't know if she's a designer or editor for Vogue fashion magazine, whatever the fuck she was, but she's sitting there talking about how the shirts were violent. And that this level of violence was just so overwhelming for her. That's violent, but a motherfucker talking about actually putting holes in niggas is not violence. You dance to that shit. You put that shit to your Instagram stories. But the shirt is violence. That don't make no fucking sense. And you wonder why people look at shit and make videos like they make them. You wonder why people listen to Candace, a person like Candace Owens, who I believe is fucking brilliantly evil. Because she'll say some really true shit that makes perfect fucking sense, and then say some nonsense that that's only aim it could be to further subjugate her people.
Hey, she pimps plight. She's a good one. She's a
good one. But we can't let the hate for a person like her cloud our better judgment and say that she's always wrong, or I won't acknowledge nothing that she says. No, if it's right, it's right. The truth don't care who tell it. It don't. Just acknowledge it and call it a day. You look crazy. You look fucking crazy out here championing fucking music that you... Come on, there's nothing positive about that shit. There's nothing. What you tell me the redeemable shit about it? About that? About a motherfucker talking about murdering people that look just like you? What's the point of it? What's the point of putting that to a beat? Oh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to put on the radio songs about teaching little girls how to fillet some shit. Yeah, that's some good shit to do. Sing it to children. Why not? Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. I saw somebody post on their fucking thing, post on their timeline today. It was like, we had our fun. Let the young bucks have theirs. No, maybe just grow up and be an adult enough to say, man, we fucked up. Or maybe just be an adult enough to say, hey, you look, no, you can't just eat donuts for fucking dinner all the time. Be that. Say, okay, the donut's fine, but you gotta have some vegetables before that shit.
Hey, and that line of thinking is how shit the envelope gets pushed a little bit further each generation. Because we go, oh yeah, well, yeah, we did have our fun. Let them have their fun. They go, ah! We be like, oh no, not that much fun. That's why right now, if you look on the back of fucking candy bars, nigga, it says peel here. We didn't need directions to open candy bars. Like, at what point does society need a direction to open a Snicker?
I don't know. The world pussified itself, and we act as though we act surprised that we got to put a slit in the package so it's able to be opened. No, kid, do some push-ups. You got to pre-open the package before these motherfuckers can open the package nowadays. It's a thing out here.